Are you in search of your perfect cup of coffee at home? Do you crave a fresh cup of joe from the comfort of your own kitchen? Well, look no further, because Black Sun Coffee is here to help. The medium roast from Black Sun Coffee features notes of Brazil nut, grapefruit, and oak. The freshness is guaranteed to start your day off right. Go to blacksuncoffee.com, that's BLVCK, and use the promo code Confidence20 for 20% off your next purchase.
The Confidence Factor. The Confidence Factor.
Self-reflection is important. Self-reflection is necessary. You want to improve? You want to evolve? Then you must engage in self-reflection. Part of being confident is being unafraid to hold up the mirror on our own selves. Keep developing the things you like and the things that serve you, and then get rid of the things that have no place. If you don't like something about yourself, take agency in your own life and change it. Still be who you are, but continuously strive to be a better version of yourself. Today's guest teaches us not to sit and accept what we don't like, how to be bold, and the importance of controlling the narrative of how you show up in a space. Let's listen.
The Confidence Factor.
So, fun fact about today's guest, she was the first person who found out I was pregnant last year. I have known today's guest for about I told you. I have known today's guest for about 15 years or so. We met at a sorority retreat, and we've been soul sisters ever since. So we're going to do a little resume check. She received both her bachelor's and master's degrees from Eastern Michigan University and completed her PhD at Indiana State University. She has over a decade of experience working in higher education in areas such as academic affairs, campus life, multicultural affairs, residence life, and student affairs leadership. Off the paper, she is my conference roommate. I'm still thinking that Montreal has not recovered from our visit. She is my reality checker, and she's my favorite hype man. Her name, in my opinion, is synonymous with strength and resilience. So please welcome today's guest, Dr. Shetina M. Jones, to the Confidence Factor. Welcome.
Look, it's so good to be here. It's always a pleasure to be introduced by somebody who actually knows you, right? And literally, we've been through a lot. Mm-hmm. We have been through a lot, and that's all I got is we've been through a lot, and it has been such a wonderful time. So thank you for having me here.
Well, thank you for being here for sure. And when I was putting this together, I'm like, we really have known each other that long. I was like doing the math, and I'm like, no, we are old enough for this to be true.
Yes, we are.
I'm like, where did the time go? So as I said, we first met back in the day at this sorority retreat. I don't remember where it was, but there we were. That was the first time we met. And then we just kept re-entering each other's lives. I don't think we ever left each other's lives, probably more accurate. Would you say?
We didn't. We didn't. So I remember it was at Underground Roundup. So It was at Underground Roundup, and I remember getting up and I remember talking about my sister because my mom was sick. Mm-hmm. And I said that, and I don't even know why. I was like, yeah, this is happening, yet I'm here. And I remember it was you and it was Tierney and Asha who came up to me and was like, oh, so your sister's at BG. We got her. And I remember, I'll never forget that moment because you all literally had her. I never had to worry about her. when you all were on campus. And it was something that I thought was very, very, very important because I had to tend to my mom and do all these other things, make all these decisions. And I knew in the back of my mind that I had y'all. So that was what's up. And then we just kept being connected to one another. And then we both somehow wound up in higher education and just literally have been each other's sounding board. And like, I know that if I need somebody who's going to give me the truth, who's going to be able to help me conceptualize some things, I know it's you. I know it's you. So yeah, so thank you for that.
Oh, well, my pleasure indeed. So, as you know, we're here to talk about confidence. So it's turned out to be one of my favorite topics, unsurprisingly, but it is. So to get us started, how do you define confidence?
So I think that confidence is something that you live, right? Oftentimes confidence is something that you have, and sometimes other people don't believe that you have it. And it comes from a space deep down inside of you, right? And when I say deep down inside of you, sometimes you don't have to have all of the confidence. All you need is a little bit of confidence, right? And it's something that you own, right? And you don't need anybody else's validation for you to have confidence. So I think confidence is how you walk, how you talk, how you carry yourself, what you are going to commit to, what you're not going to commit to as well. So I think that confidence is something that is deep within you, and sometimes you have to activate it in ways in which don't make sense to other people, but it makes sense to you, and it is you living out loud and you making decisions for you that are best for you, which oftentimes could make other people feel uncomfortable.
Let's delve into that. How did you get to this place or this definition of confidence? What's the story? What's the journey that's gotten you to be able to say that with such conviction? Because you know it, because you live it. So how'd you get there?
Well, it took a whole lot. So I was bullied in middle school. I was bullied by quote unquote friends. I knew that some of these young women didn't make me feel good, like from a friend. You know how when you just like, you connect with a friend, it's like, oh, there might be a little poking of fun. But literally, I had folks who were around me who made me feel some type of way because I was skinnier, who made me feel some type of way because I had bigger eyes, who always nitpicked at me because I had new shoes, or because I had certain things that they didn't have, or because I talked a certain type of way, or because I did a certain thing. And I thought those women at the time were my friends. And it wasn't until I went to high school that I was able to figure out who my actual friends were, right? Full transparency, I went to the neighborhood elementary school and middle school, right? And nothing's wrong with neighborhood schools. Let me be clear on that. I just wanted to break away from my cousins, who I was very influential. I did what my cousins did. I think that when you're young, you just follow the leader, right? But for some reason, I remember in my high school, so I am from Detroit. Probably should have shared that, but I'm from Detroit. So I went to one of the big three. If you know anything about a true Detroiter, the first thing we're going to ask you is, what high school did you went to? Because in part, we are judging you. And in second part, we just know when you say a certain high school, that means something. So I went to Detroit King High School, which is a part of one of the big three. And when I went to the high school, first off, you had a test to get into it. However, I wasn't a good test taker, but I had the grades and I had the wherewithal, just in general, but I just sucked at tests. So I wound up coming into the high school through a special program that was a college prep program that you still had to apply to, but the test scores didn't matter. And I excelled, of course. So I remember going to a summer program, and I would then meet my very best friend, who I would later know had a specific disability when he was born, a essentially they broke his leg. So he's like 6'5", and he still had this kind of like limp to him now when he walks, but he will become my best friend. And he showed me what a friend really was, and would then be my biggest cheerleader in life, right? So when you come from having low self-esteem, when people make fun of you for certain type of things, and when you don't be around those people, and I was around one of them, but then she left after the 9th grade, and I was just free. I was free to be me, right? So I was free to explore. I did ROTC. I did all of these things that made Shetina happy, right? But one of the bigger pieces that always hindered my confidence was that I had a gap in between my teeth. So people would call me names from elementary school, not so much in high school, but it always impacted whether or not I would want to date somebody, whether or not, and of course, you know, everybody was doing the high school dating, right? Whether or not I wanted to date somebody, the type of guy that I wanted to date as well. So it was essentially when I would say that I gained my most confidence would have been after my mom passed away, and several years after my mom passed away. I was tired. I was really tired. I was sick of everybody else's sugar, honey, iced tea. And I literally woke up because the guy who I was dating, he was like, I don't want to be with you no more. Mind you, it's my birthday weekend. Everybody knows my birthday is like a whole big old
holiday.
Ordeal. It's a holiday,
national
right?
Holiday. Yep.
National holiday. So it was awful. And I called somebody who I knew and I said, I need you to keep a secret. And I said, and I need to ask you something that you can keep secret, and that I need you to do something for me. And he was like, what's up? And he owned a barbershop. He's our age. He owned a barbershop. So I was like, okay. I said, all right, Ed, I need you to just cut all my hair off. And he said, what? I said, just cut it off. I said, I just had a biopsy because at that time, I was recently diagnosed with alopecia. And they didn't tell me I had to cut my hair. I just got tired. So I said, Ed, I want to come into your shop. I want you to cut off all of my hair. When you cut off all of my hair, we can't post nothing. We can't do nothing. I don't want anybody's permission. He says, all right, Tina, I got you. So I literally went into his shop on my birthday. And that my birthday would be on that Monday. Went into his shop, got all of my hair cut off. I watched him. It was only him and I in the shop. He covered up all the windows, and I had prepared myself. I bought a hat. So, of course, I was born in December. It has to be a snowstorm, right? So, with this snowstorm, my car wound up breaking down because it was just a series of unfortunate events for my birthday. My car would break down, but I was committed to showing my friends, because of course your friends show up for you. So my very good friends, Monique and Marquise, they showed up to my dinner in this blizzard, and my one of our sorority sisters, Allison Spratt, would show up, and I was at dinner, and I was like, I don't know, and I'm talking, and we're at this place that I really wanted to go to, and I was like, y'all, I hope y'all love me, and I have to show you something, but I hope that you all love me for who I am. And I literally, on like a whole In Living Color type moment, just slowly took my whole hat off. And they was like, oh my God, you are absolutely beautiful. And I thought I was super cute anyway. But that started my confidence, right? Because I started to peel back the layers, and I controlled how I showed up, when I showed up, and what I looked like, right? So that started that confidence where I wouldn't even say I was at my full-fledged confidence. It wasn't until I got them braces taken off that I was at my full ability to be confident. And that would have been in 2018. Even when I got the braces on, I started to feel better because it was something about that gap that just, it wedged my self-esteem. So for me, that was my confidence level. And I'll say that I remember getting closer to the end of my braces coming off, right? Because me and my braces was in like a long distance relationship, okay? It was 2.5 years, okay? Long term, right? So
I've been there.
I remember
3 years. 3 years.
No, you know what this is, okay? And I got permanent retainers, okay, girl? So it's a lot. But I remember thinking, I said, well, Shetina, I'm not in this mindset of fixing myself, right? Because one of our sorority sisters told me when I was getting braces was like, if you don't like something about yourself, you can fix it. Like, you don't have to sit in that, right? So I thought about that, and that's why I got the braces, because I really didn't like it. And then come to find out, I had some other things that actually caused me to have a gap. That could have been corrected when I was younger, but of course, some science wasn't what it was now, so I get it. But after I got my braces taken off, I remember saying to myself, I don't care who I am. The only one thing I wanted to do was close this gap. So if a sister gained weight, I gained weight, which I have. But I'm comfortable in myself, right? So I'm comfortable in how I look, how I show up. And I don't care about nobody's thoughts about me, right? You were going to judge me whether I had a gap, whether I didn't have no hair. If I grow the hair, you mad. If I shave my hair off, you mad. If I put makeup on, you mad. The only person that matters is me and how I feel about myself in the morning. So every day I get up and I show up the way that I want to show up, right? So if I want to change my glasses, I change my glasses. If I want to wear big earrings, small earrings, that's my decision. But I am confidently making that decision. It's my choice, not nobody else's choice. And I'm living my truth the way that I want to live it. And that's how I came to this level of confidence. Kind of around the circle, around the Mayberry bush, but I'm committed to it. So that's how I got to this point.
So then, how would you, and thank you, first of all, for sharing that, for sure. How would you have described yourself in the before, however you define the before, whether it was you got to high school, whether it was you shaved your hair, whether it was the braces, however you define the before. How would you have described yourself then? And then how do you describe Shetina now?
I would, the first word that comes to my mind is I was scared. I was scared of other people's judgments. I was scared of their thoughts. I was scared to have my own thoughts. And I was scared to really be myself. One of my aunts who recently passed away, she would always tell me, you've always been different. You've always been different. And I would say growing up as the kids of the 80s, it wasn't oftentimes something that was cool to do was to be different. We still kind of like this generation. We had our Jordans. We wore gold chains. They weren't the big ones, but we wore gold chains. But it was like everybody was doing the same thing. So when you did do something that was not like everybody else, you was perceived as being different. Different did have a different connection to it, right? Do you want to be different or do you want to be the same? And I think that looking back, I just remember people who was sitting in their difference, and that was okay. And now, to me, I would say now I'm bold. I don't care. I don't care. Like, people are like, you don't have no hair. Are you going to grow your hair back? No, I don't want to. It itches. I'm still trying to figure out of 20 something odd years. Actually, I don't even think it was 20. It was 20 something years. How did I get to this point? How did I have all this hair all those years? But again, if I decide to grow back, I will grow it back. If I don't, I don't. Like, it's my decision, right? So I think that right now I'm just very bold and just living out loud and living the way that I want to live. And I'm not subscribing to anybody else's kind of politics, if you will, about who I am and how I show up.
That's real. I don't have anything other to say other than that. That's real. So, what would you say is your confidence factor? What is, like, one person I talked about, like, the special sauce that makes Shetina Shetina. What is your confidence factor? And then can you think of a moment in which that confidence factor was on full display, firing on all cylinders, and you're just like, like,
yeah. I think it's my gift of gab. Like, I can talk. Like, I have been competing in competition since I was in the 7th grade. So I can literally talk about anything at the drop of a dime. That is my confidence. You could give me something right now. I don't have to rehearse it. I got it. I can come up with a topic. I can do my own thing. And I think about when that confidence level was on at its highest, It would have to have been when I don't even remember what year it was.
Mm-hmm.
It was the year that I did a Pachakacha at
Oh, yeah.
ACPA. So a Pachakacha is a 7 minute and 42 second presentation that you do where you have to talk about something and you have to share it with individuals in 7 minutes and 42 seconds. And it was I think this was the second year that they were doing it with ACPA, and ACPA is the Association for College Personnel. Something. What's the other A?
Association, American College Personnel Association.
There you go. American College Personnel Association, Educators International.
Yes,
that's what I had.
yes.
Right. So, this is one of my professional homes. I probably should have known that, but listen, it's today, and we here. Okay, and I'm tired. But I remember doing the Pachakacha, and actually I volunteered because one of our commissions was like, oh yeah, we submitted for this Pachakacha. I can't do it. We need a volunteer from the Pan-African Network, and we need another volunteer. So I signed up. I can talk. That's nothing, right? Now, talking with a partner about something that you didn't even submit, that's a whole nother bag to be in, right? So I remember doing it, and I did it with a very good friend, Dr. Stefan Santa Ramirez. No, Rosa Santa. I don't know. It's Stefan. That's his name. But we did this Pachakacha, and we learned to do this in like 2 days. And it was one of the best Pachakachas that they had ever seen. And we did it in front of a crowd of folks. And I remember, and I wish I had the shoes, but I did it in like 5-inch.
Oh, I remember.
And they were sparkling. I had a red shirt with black jeans, and it was in Vegas. That's where it was in Vegas. And I remember stepping on stage in these shoes, and people were like, "Oh my God!" And y'all, they was rhinestones. It was black, pink, and red, and it was bad. They was cute. But I remember doing that, right? And I remember being terrified, but then also like, but you're that black girl from Detroit who competed in national competitions since the 7th grade. You beat our high schoolers when you were in the 8th grade. Girl, pick yourself up. Pick yourself up. You done competed on national levels multiple years in a row, and you got gold medals. Not today, baby. You're not gonna be scared today. And I just remember that feeling, right? So that was where my confidence was like, I wish you would say something to me. And I've been doing it ever since. Like I've just been doing things ever since. So that was one of, like, I would say one of my highlights of my confidence, kind of being on 10.
That's such a good example. And I think I like it because I remember it.
Because you was there.
I remember that. And the thing is, like, to hear someone say, oh, she just had to talk for 7 minutes and 42 seconds, like, it's a very precise manner of communication. There are visuals that go along with it, and you just have to be very precise. So to have pulled that off in 2 days is truly no small feat, for sure. And you definitely do have the gift of gab, but you've always been so outwardly sure of yourself. And what I said at the beginning, you know, when you said your definition of confidence with great conviction, I think that's the word. When you speak with conviction, and you speak with authority. And that's always been something about you that has stood out to me. So aside from the shoes,
my shoe game is out of control.
Yes, it is.
Listen, this pandemic, when it's over, I tell you, I'm gonna be running to the shoe store because I'm not buying nothing anymore. I'm not gonna where to go.
We're on a tangent, and that's okay. I didn't buy them, but I got a pair of shoes for my birthday, and they say Shetina all over them. I'm like, I don't know where I'm going in them, but they're so bright because I like colors, but I like bright heels, and I'll just wear black with them. But I mean, these shoes, I'm like, you would appreciate these shoes. Very sparkly, very sparkly.
Listen, I love it.
I can't wait to wear them. Cannot wait. I don't know where I'm going in them. I'm going somewhere soon, but. For my final question, well, let's start here. Pick a number between 1 and 37.
20.
Okay. So knowing what you know now and the things that you've learned, the things that you've experienced, and the things that you've just had to figure out, what would you tell your 20-year-old self?
Oh, 20. Oof, that wasn't. Girl, it's not worth it. I would focus more on having fun. I was in a relationship. I thought I was getting married like at the end of senior year. Just go have fun. Go on a study abroad. It's okay. Girl, dump him. It's all right. I think I would just do more. And then also I would tell myself to spend more time with my mom. Because my mom wasn't one of those people who was an attention seeker, but literally she was amazing. But I would lose her at 21, but I would tell myself to go spend more time with her and take her more places too.
Do you think your 20-year-old self would have taken your advice? Possibly.
About the guy, maybe not, but I probably would have studied abroad. That poor baby, that poor precious lamb. I just wanted to be in love. I don't know why, but I just did. I wanted to be in love. That was what people were doing. But now most of the people in the love aren't even actually in love from like their high school people. So, ooh, that's awkward.
No comment.
Yep.
No comment. Any final thoughts or insights or anything that you want to share?
I don't really know. I feel like life is so interesting right now. And I feel like if there's something that you want to do and you're scared to do it, do it. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? We're living through a pandemic, right? Nobody ever thought that we would we will ever be in this position or this space. But I would say, pivot, right? That was the word.
That's the word.
Is pivot, and I'm still pivoting, right? So I feel like sometimes we allow other people to take away our confidence because they lack it, right? So you might have a vision, and I'm a spiritual religious person, and I believe that God blesses us with visions, right? So God has told you to do something and you don't want to do it because everybody else around you aren't doing it, right? But that's not their assignment. That was your assignment. So you have something within yourself that you want to do, but we've allowed people to bruise our confidence, to impact our confidence in ways in which we become fragile, and we don't want to do the things that we know we are supposed to be doing because somebody else has either said something to you, somebody else does not have the capacity to do it, because everybody does not have the capacity to do everything. That's why we're all different. So I would just say, if there is something out there that you know you need to do it. Sometimes do it scared. Both myself and the good Dr. Leah, we just finished our PhD processes last year, right? And we both have consulting businesses. And for me, at least with mine, I did that scared, right? Like, we was just laughing before we started about a website, right? And one of the things our very good friend, Dr. Alex White, says when she's coaching folks is, everything don't have to be perfect with a business. Just start. Just start somewhere, right? Perfection does not exist, but perfection stifles growth and creativity.
Perfect
right?
is the enemy of good.
Absolutely, right? So just do it, right? So if there's something that you want to do, if you want to start school, if you you know a job is harmful to you and you need to go. Like, live your life out loud and have the confidence and the boldness to do whatever it is that you want to do. And I think that's what I'm going to leave y'all with today.
And I'm going to leave it on that. Shetina, Dr. Jones, thank you so much for being here and sharing your story and dropping all this wisdom all over the place. I greatly appreciate you having spent some time with me on this Friday evening. But we in a pandemic, so where are you going? There you go.
Know, right? We ain't got nowhere to go.
So before I let you go, let all the listeners know where they can find you on social media. You talked about the consulting business, so talk a little bit about that and just what you're working on and what we could look forward to seeing from you in the near future.
All right. So here are all my social media handles. So my Instagram is SM Jones Consulting, no spaces, just all SM Jones Consulting. That is at Instagram. On Facebook, I do have a page called SM Jones Consulting, and my website is smjonesconsulting.com. So a little bit of what I do, again, talking about that pivot, is I specialize in tech for beginners, but it's a special set of beginners. So I specialize in tech for those 45 and older. Now, here's the thing. If you have a tech need and you're not 45, it's okay. You can come and attend the sessions also. So we have Saturday morning sessions where we are teaching those who need a little bit of extra tech help with Facebook, Instagram, website design, all types of things. One of our social media app for this particular session that is coming up is Facebook. Our next one will be Clubhouse. So we are going to be teaching those how to navigate that stuff. We also will teach individuals how to read their bank account online. So we do a lot of different things in that area. Another arm or product that we offer is we are doing student affairs supervision training. So oftentimes graduate students are looking for ways so for them to grow, but we're doing that for those working in student affairs, and we will have that on the entry level and the mid-level level. And then last but certainly not least, we do provide services for faculty development. So we train faculty departments how to transition completely online, how to do education technology, how to look at distance learning theory, all of those pieces. So those are some of the things that we do. And again, you can find us as SM Jones Consulting on Facebook and Instagram, as well as smjonesconsulting.com is the website.
All right. You heard it from her, SM Jones Consulting. Please go check her out, Facebook, Instagram, and the World Wide Web. So again, Dr. Jones, thank you so much for being here today.
Look, thank you for having me. Always love to connect with you, Dr. Shaw.
Absolutely. And that's it. Thank you, everybody, for listening to The Confidence Factor. Be sure to check out my website at www.beshawesome or beshawesome.com. You can also check me out on Instagram at b.shawesome. As always, thank you to Golden Ox Studios for making this a reality week after week.
The confidence factor.